My whole pursuit and the road I went down is different than a lot of guys today. I slept in my truck because I didn't have nothing. You know, I went to tournaments, I had $20 for gas each day, and I put it on a budget, and that's as far as I fish. So, yeah, coming from a humble beginning, when people say I'm broke, it's a joke. Dude, we had to borrow money to pay attention where I lived. We were broke. I was a carpenter by trade. I was an old nail driver, worked on the roofs, and I spent many hours on a place just like this trying to build a house. And I always had this huge passion for bass fishing. My father fished growing up. It was one of the only things we did on the farm as a pastime was fishing. So once I graduated school, I played all these sports, and I had this huge passion for competing. I wanted to compete in something. I said, you know what, I picked up bass fishing, and then it got to be where I couldn't shake it. It was like this competitive sickness that I had to keep going back to.
We get them all, baby, big, short, or tall.
I've known Gerald probably longer than anybody on tour. Gerald and myself have been roommates since '97. When we were rooming together on the road, whoever made a check that week, the following week would buy the other one's dinner every night at the Waffle House, so we could both afford to stay out here.
It's kind of good to come from that beginning because it's kind of almost like the demon that drives you is being that broke. You don't ever want to go back to that lifestyle.
Steel Alabama honky bass. That's an old hand cutter is what that is right there.
See, I get mad when people say, well, I tried. No, you didn't try. I mean, trying means you spent everything you've had and you slept on the ground and you still failed and you got up and done it again. When you do that, you will get what you want, but you have to be willing to sacrifice. When all my buddies was partying and living it up, dude, I was sitting in a boat tying jigs looking at maps. You have to be willing to say, this is what I want, and nothing's gonna stand in the way. And I was the kid that didn't know any better. I was so hard-headed, no matter what happened, I wouldn't quit for nothing.
It's just beautiful. Oh, yes.
I pursued this for a long time by myself, and then when I met my wife, she's the one that put the wheels spinning. It let me free up off chasing sponsors and all that. She handles the business end, and it was kind of like greasing the wheel. She was the woman that kind of put me in focus, and not long after I met my wife, I won AOY. I started to take it to a new level.
He's one of the most gifted, naturally talented fishermen I've ever been around. There's few guys out here that understand the dynamics of nature. Gerald can see a leaf fall on the water at 7 in the morning. He understands everything that's going on for that day. Mechanically, he's one of the best I've ever been in the boat with, and I've been in the boat with most of these guys.
Big Daddy Pound, y'all sitting out there all along, smooched up on some brim.
You know, he has the type of personality that everybody wants to be around. He can be the life of the party.
I mean, he's freaking. Oh.
I thought about being a stand-up comedian. I mean, I do a lot of seminars now, and more so now than in the last 6 years, I do more comedy at my seminars. I don't go in and teach them how to tie on a black and blue jig and throw it up under a boat dock. It's boring. I tell them stories of my life, the road. You know, the comedy thing just comes natural, and it's something that I kind of keep in the old hip pocket. I'm thinking, if this deal ever plays out, I may take to the stage and go on tour. When I go to fish, I like it as almost a defense mechanism. I want everybody to think that I'm just shooting the breeze and I'm not serious, but dude, when I'm looking at you, I'm pretty much thinking about cutting your throat. I mean, you may be laughing at what I'm saying, but I'm thinking as soon as they give me this buoy and I check out, I'm going at you. And that's how you want them to think that. Maybe he's not that serious. Oh, he is. It's dead on, game on, get it on. I'm looking more now what I can leave into bass fishing than what I can take from it. But bass fishing doesn't owe me nothing. Every day is a gift. Looking back at it at the end of the day, when I look back down my life at 39, I'm never satisfied, but I'm happy to this point, but I think there's a lot more left in me. Yeah, I've got an AOY, I've been doing this 12 years. I'm fixing to crack the $1 million mark in bass, but there's a lot left in me. I think I'm just now starting to mature as a fisherman. Sometimes, you know, 10 years ago, yeah, I was better skill-wise with my hands. Now I'm probably better mentally. The only thing I've ever said is I would probably like to retire around 47 or 48. I'm 39 now. I'm giving myself 8 or 9 more years to really press the limits. I don't think the bass fishing world has seen the potential of Gerald Swindle on the water. I've won the AOY. I want to win the Classic. You know, I want to crack the $2 million mark. So there's some goals I want, but where it goes, I don't know. I may be on HBO one day telling dirty jokes. I got a bunch of them.